Hi, I'm Ashimolowo. Welcome to the Wealth Masterclass, where we teach you to make, manage, and multiply money. We live in a world of abundance. At no time have humanity seen the level of wealth in our world today. It exists in trillions. Yet at no time have we seen the level of deprivation, lack, and poverty like exists now. The vision of the Wealth Masterclass is to challenge you, to help you to become part of those who make money and manage it and multiply it. Listen, it is our vision to raise 10,000 millionaires and millions of wealthy people. It is possible. We teach real estate, how to create wealth, how to run business, etc., etc. We move you from where you are to where you ought to be. I want you to like our channel, subscribe to it, visit our website, and leave a comment. We'll see you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Wealth Masterclass, where we teach you to make, manage, and multiply money. Today, we're going to start again with something to prepare our mind. I want to talk about pillars of generational wealth. What are the pillars on which generational wealth stands? When you look into our world today, you see that some families continue to perpetuate wealth. They pay the price. Yesterday, I was watching something and I noticed that the wealthy, not because of anything else, they send their children to certain schools because they know that in such a place, their children are likely to meet people who are going to help and be part of their journey. So they are very choosy as to where their children go. They're very choosy as to whom their children associate with. It's not a matter of it's not a matter of classism, neither is it a matter of racism. It is not a matter of gentrification, but it is creating scarcity and choice and preparing your family for the things that will truly, truly bless them. This morning, we want to look at the pillars of generational wealth. The pillars. What are the pillars of generational wealth? And I do hope it helps you. I do hope it helps you. We're going to see about, I don't even know how many, probably something like 40, 50, and I'm going to try to rush them. Some of these pillars we've mentioned at different times, but we are mentioning them again. What does a pillar do? A pillar holds a building, and the stronger the pillar, the more durable the building. If you're building particularly, say, for example, in grounds that are soft or that are mushy, they wouldn't let you build. They will require that you first send piles down into the earth. These piles, until they hit a hard ground, you cannot stop. After you hit the hard ground with those piles, then you now build pillars that will hold the building. So there's support at the bottom and there's support around the building. And so the building cannot collapse. The building perpetuates its strength. What are the pillars you need to put in place to perpetuate wealth in your family, not just for you, but for your children, your grandchildren, great-great-grandchildren? By the way, why I should look at generational wealth when I am still struggling with mine? Of course, you must never live in the now. You must learn to perpetuate wealth by looking in the future, seeing dreams and aspirations. So number one is investment in the stock market. We've mentioned this in the past. This is investing in sure bets, things that you know that these are critical. These are industries. These are factories. These are businesses that will continue to operate several years to come. Investing in the stock market, and it depends on the country in which you are, but investing in stock markets that are stable, that are strong, that are perpetuating is a wise pillar. It means you, your family, are part owners of such an industry. And we've told you of S&P 500 or the FTSE 100. So you find families in the UK There are some families that don't struggle. Their children don't even deliberately take student loan because they have created enough wealth to not create another debt in student loan. And judging by the amount of student loan in the nation, you find there are banks that don't even need to do much. Those young people start their life in an ocean of red. They're swimming in an ocean of red. They start life in the ocean of red. So stock market, investing in stock market means you are investing in appreciating assets. And by that, we mean not just stock market, but the particular ones which would appreciate. I would suggest not even businesses which, unless you are very savvy with investing in stock market, don't invest in businesses that are still trying to find their footing. Number two, investment in real estate is the second pillar. That's what this current focus has been. We've been teaching you on how to build something that lasts, but do it with real estate. Real estate is the estate that is real. It is tangible. It is something you can handle. It does not go down. It does not go up and down like yo-yo. It is serious. It is stable. It is firm. It is not the kind which, because somebody resigned, it collapsed. Because somebody came on board, it went up. During the week, found out the Fox News group, and I think Sky in those days, Murdoch at 95 or 96 said he's stepping down so that his son would take over. Boom. The stock value of his companies went up because probably people who have bought into his business have felt that age is not in his favor, even though he still had a sharp mind at 95 and even got married somewhere around 89 or so. Investment in real estate. Number three, building a business you can pass down. A business one can pass down is a pillar. Too many people doing things which it's just to quench their current thirst or meet their current need. You need a business that is truly a business, not owning not just creating another job for yourself. Some people move from employment to self-employment, and many self-employed people are just OAJs, owning a job. They own the job, but it's still a job because they've got to resume for the thing to work. They have no automation system. They have no method for it to work. Building a business you can pass on is a major pillar. You can structure it generationally in such a way that you get generations of your family to come. With such in mind, matter of fact, it becomes necessary that, and where you will see it later in our teaching, people need to gradually be educated to understand and to appreciate the need to be part of your vision from day one. Number four, take advantage of life insurance. I have said this in the past. I didn't quite do life insurance purely because I felt once you've created the wealth that insures, you have actually created insurance. However, it is a pillar for those who may not have tangible, for example, real estate. If they took advantage of life insurance, it meant that they had something the family can claim, and in moments of challenges, accidents, irreversible sicknesses or disease, you had something to hold on to. These are pillars. And unfortunately, the way life insurance is sometimes sold, it makes it look like only when you are in danger. Only when you are in danger. You might just find that there are several kinds of insurances, but life insurance is such that it does not leave your family exposed. It's a pillar that your family can rely on. Number 5, invest in your child's education. These are pillars also that will help you in managing the future, in managing what you want to do. Child education should not just be to just go through school, but to get your children to have something they can hold on to, something that prepares them for the future, something that also helps them to be able to manage the future. I was talking about these very private schools. Some of them you find that it was mandatory that the kids who went through it, they must speak 2 global languages fluently. I guess it is the policy that have now been brought into every secondary school in the United Kingdom, but not just secondary, some primary schools now are teaching the second language. But it's being taught in a way that the kids just do like, well, let me just do it to pass my GCSE and get out. But investing in your child's education must be, 1, consciously done, done with such a mind that you are saying to yourself, this child needs this for creation of wealth in the future. In the first place, a very well-educated mind has been taken out of the pit of lack and cannot remain in the same place. A mind once elasticated does not go back to what it used to be. A mind once elasticated cannot go back to what it used to be. The 6th pillar is to teach your children about personal finance, so that whether they are your grandchildren or your children, you begin to teach them and make them understand something about personal finance, that life is more than getting a job and getting salaries to pay bills. Personal finance is about, even from childhood, also thinking wealth creation. When children are exposed to get a job, pay your bills, their mind is set that way. When children are exposed to create wealth, don't just get a job, their mind also works that way. So from day one, they're thinking business, they're thinking, what can I create? They're thinking, how can I perpetuate wealth more than just get a job, a structured work environment. These are pillars, and they are very major. If you don't put these pillars in place, that's the reason wealth ends with 1 generation. Because maybe the children were sent to school to become vicarious for the parents' lack or the parents' inefficiency. What do we mean by that? There had been people who from poverty became wealthy, so they look for the best schools in the world and send their children, but it wasn't with the end result that the child should know how to manage wealth. It was just to go to school, which they didn't. So they are using the child vicariously to fill a gap that is empty in their own life. That is empty in their own life. So teach your child, teach your children personal finance, how money grows, how £1 can increase in value if the same child had invested it in something, how the child can also, when money comes, use it to create some degree of wealth. Number 7 pillar. 7th pillar is to create multiple streams of income. This is a major pillar in multi-generational wealth creation. Letting your family, your children, your grandchildren know that the world has gone out of that wake up in the morning, rush to work, come back home, have some food, watch television, go to bed. You will still have the majority of the world living that way, But because you are creating a multi-generational wealth family, you need to teach your sons, your daughters, your grandchildren to think outside the box of one stream. To think outside the box of one stream. Because if your only source is one stream, the day the stream dries up, you have to move. You have to either move into something smaller or something bigger or something greater, etc., etc. The prophet Elijah in the Bible lived by a stream to quench his thirst as a raven brought his food. But then one day the brook dried up. The brook dried up. He had no choice. You can do without food for 50 days. Don't try it. But you cannot do without water for more than 7 days. So he had to move because he only had one stream. If on the day he was there, he had 4 streams, he would have moved. I believe that's also the reason why, in order for us to see the type and the shadow, a type and shadow is something that is used to teach you. The 4 rivers of Eden given to Adam and Eve was to teach us that here are only 2 people, yet given 4 streams. How much water can they drink? That they needed 4 streams. It is to teach us also that we need to create multi-streams, not just because we want a need met, but we want to create wealth. Not just because we want a need met, but we're trying to create wealth. That's the reason for 4 streams. The stream of the one which comes in trickles, the stream of the one which comes once in a while it comes, but when it comes, it's a boom. The stream of the one which flows all the time, rapid like an arrow. That's the meaning of the 4 rivers in the Garden of Eden: Pison, Gihon, Hiddekel, and Euphrates. Their names mean sweet water. The third one is rapid like an arrow. Another one is free flow. And the last one is breakthrough. So you have some water that flows freely, a business that flows freely. You have the one that is sweet water. It doesn't come all the time. But when it comes, it gives you an opportunity. They invited you, supply us so and so thing. You quickly supplied. That's a sweet water of income. Then you have the other one that is rapid like an arrow. And then you have the one that when it happens, it's a massive breakthrough.
Welcome to the Wealth Masterclass. The Wealth Masterclass is on a mission to empower, provoke, and raise more than 10,000 millionaires and over 1 million wealth creators. We aim to crystallize the principles of wealth creation and finance to enable the everyday man and woman to create a better future for themselves. At the Wealth Masterclass, we will teach you how to create wealth through real estate, business marketing strategies, and how to create businesses that solve problems. These teachings will give you a new perspective, challenge you, and help you move from good to great. Our Wealth Masterclass package, at just £197 monthly subscription, gives access to more than 200 hours of exclusive teaching on finance, wealth creation, personal success, and motivation, 2 coaching sessions a month, access to previous coaching sessions since onset, 1-to-1 session with Matthew Ashimolowo twice a year, 2 live events per year, monthly ebook from Matthew Ashimolowo, and many more.
Hi, I'm Matthew Ashimolowo. Welcome to Wealth Masterclass.